4.2. Last part. A family traveled 135 kilometers from East London to Tsendani. On their way, they spotted in Butterworth. They stopped in Butterworth for 25 minutes. Okay, so they're traveling from East London to Tsendani, and that takes them 135 kilometers. And then they stopped in Butterworth for 25 minutes. So for 25 minutes, they're not driving. The car is not on the road for 25 minutes, right? If they traveled on an average speed of 98 kilometers per hour, determine how long in hours and minutes it took them to arrive in Tsendani. So this is the speed. They've given us speed. There's speed on the formula. We have it. It's right there. They've given us distance. And now they're saying determine the time. But they're not asking for this time. They're asking for the time it took for these people to travel from East London to Tsendani, including their break. If they traveled for the speed, determine how long in hours and minutes it took them to arrive, not to drive, but to arrive. So from the time they went from East London, and then they rested somewhere in between in Butterworth, and then they arrived in Tsendani. How long did the whole journey take? Now, if we use this formula here, we're going to get the time it took to drive on the road, but it's not going to give us the time that they took breaks. Okay, so let's get that time that was on the road first. So we're going to say speed, they said distance is equal to speed times time. And then they gave us distance. Look at that. They gave us distance, which is 135 kilometers. And it's in kilometers. And then they gave us speed, which is 98 kilometers per hour. Now let's calculate the driving time. Not the arriving time, but the driving time. Okay, so now time here is unknown. It's sitting with speed, which is 98 kilometers per hour, and they're multiplying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. This is the first time I've had one of these pens run out. Oh, okay. There we go. We got ourselves another one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here that time is sitting here and they're multiplying. So what I do is I just say I'm going to do the opposite of multiply in order to remove this to the other side. So I'm going to divide by 98 kilometers per hour, and whatever I did on this side I'm going to come and do on this side, 98 kilometers per hour, right? And this cancels that, and then we can calculate there with the calculator 135 divided by 98, and that gives us 1,377,55102, which is equal to the time it took for them to drive in hours, right? Okay, so they said we must calculate in hours and minutes, and I'm just going to look at I have the driving time, I have the stopping time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change whatever is not a full hour here into minutes. So let me just say this. I have 1 hour plus, so I'm going to say here, I'm going to say minus the 1 hour. So this is not a full hour, it's 0.37 hours. So I'm going to say 0.37755,102 hours. See? So I'm going to change, since this is not a full hour, I'm going to change it, convert it to minutes by multiplying by 60. Okay, so now let's 0.37755,102 multiplied by 60, and then we have 1 hour and 1 hour and 22.65 minutes, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say 1 hour and 22.65 minutes, and then I'm going to say plus the stopping time, which is 0025 minutes, and then I'm going to have here 47.65 minutes, and then here I'm going to have 1 hour. Oh, why did I do that? That's 1 hour there, so that's going to be 1 hour, and then I'm going to have the 1 plus. Let me redo this part. Okay, I'm going to redo this part. So it's 1 hour 01022 minutes, and we have 0025 minutes, and then we're going to add those two, so that's 74700, 1 hour 0. So it took them 1 hour 47 minutes, 1 hour 47.65 minutes. Right. The family traveled in a car with a petrol capacity of 50 liters. The car's petrol consumption is usually 12 kilometers per liter. Okay, let's go that again. The family traveled in a car with a petrol capacity of 50 liters. So it's capable of taking 50 liters, the tank. And then the car's petrol consumption is usually 12 kilometers per liter. So if you have 1 liter, you travel 12. So if you have 50, you travel 12 times 50, right? Okay, so the family has claimed that when leaving East London with a full tank of petrol, they would be left with less than 30 liters of petrol in the tank on reaching the destination. Verify with the necessary calculations whether the claim is valid or not. Okay, let's look at that again. They're saying if they have a full tank, which is 50 liters, what's going to happen is when they get to their destination, which is Tsentane, they will have less than 30 liters. Let's not worry about whether they will have less or more. Let's find out how many liters it's going to take them first, right? Okay. I know that 12 kilometers uses 1 liter, right? But we are traveling 135 kilometers. So 135 kilometers, see that? Kilometer is equal to number of liters. We do not know, but we're going to put them under the liters. And then we're going to cross multiply. Then I have 12 kilometers multiplied by unknown is equal to 135 times 135 kilometers times 1 liter, right? So my unknown is sitting with 12, opposite of multiply, divide by 12 kilometers, and on this side divide by 12 kilometers, that cancels that, and then I have my calculation there, which is 135 divided by 12, and I have 11.25 liters. That is the number of liters that they are going to use from East London to Tsentane on average, right? So now they're saying they're going to have less than 30 liters of petrol once they reach the destination. Let's check if they have less than. So the tank is 50 liters. We're going to minus 11.25 liters and see how much is left. So 50 liters minus the ones we use, which is 11.25, we have 38.75 liters left. They are not accurate because they're saying less than 30. This is actually above 30. So the claim is not valid. Hope I didn't make any errors. If I did, please point them out so I can redo this video. I think I'm very willing to redo this video. It's very important. They love these questions. Calculate their petrol cost for a return trip if petrol is 1,650 cents per liter. Okay, so now we want to know, first of all, we want to know how much is their petrol going to be for a return trip. What is a return trip? Return trip is a return is to go there and then come back. So it's 2 trips of the same distance. Right? Okay, so when they say calculate the trip of the return trips, okay, so they used 11.25 to go there, and then they used 11.25 to come back. So it's going to be total petrol is equal to 11.25 liters multiplied by 2, which is equal to 22.5 liters, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the cost now. Here they're saying 1 liter is equal to 1,650 cents. And then I'm going to say I do not do calculations in cents. Or I can calculate in cents and then convert the answer because I work in rands. So it's up to us. Let's do both. First, I can say 1,650 cents divided by 100, and then I get 16 rand 50 cents, right? So that's per liter. Then I can do my calculations there by saying cost of petrol is equal to 16 rand 50 for 1 liter multiplied by 22.5 liters, and then I'm going to get 16.5 multiplied by 22.5, 371 rands and 25 cents. Or what I can do is I can say cost is equal to, it's up to you, it depends on how your brain thinks, 1,650 cents multiplied by 22.5 and then you get 37,125 cents, right? And then you say we don't work in cents, you divide that by 100, and then you get 371.25.